Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Apologies for the 10-minute delay. Got a phone call at just the wrong second. But what I want to talk about is Hideki Matsuyama winning the Masters in Georgia a little less than a month after a real theme started in the news in Georgia, and that was racism towards Asians. And if you follow us on Patreon, we began decoding the Masters at the beginning of the week, and we thought that there was a very, very good chance that one of the Asian golfers would win, Morikawa, Im, or, of course, Matsuyama, who won. Sorry, Morikawa, Matsuyama, and Im. We looked at all three of these guys, and between the three of them, the man who did have the most interesting riddle by far was Matsuyama. He was the third most likely to win the tournament out of the Asian golfers, but we're going to show you what we spotted before the tournament began, and again, how this knowledge of letters and numbers known as Gematria is so relevant to getting ahead of the curve on sports, as silly as that might sound. Again, last year, we had Dustin Johnson to win the Masters before the tournament began, as he did, and the year before that, we had Tiger, and all through this code that I'm going to share with you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a quick clip of the first thing we looked at with Matsuyama when we began decoding the tournament. And again, if you're on Patreon, you've probably already seen these videos. But I just want to show you where we started with what we noticed about Matsuyama. But then after we had our community discussion, which is what's nice about the Patreon page, is there is a community of trolls there who you just have to ignore. But then there's a community of people who are really part of the community. And they call in with really great observations and their knowledge. And oftentimes, if I can't figure out what's going on as a team, we can do a very good job. And a lot of people have earned a lot with Matsuyama, who, again, we thought had a very great narrative. So let me play this quick clip. This video is from April 7th, 2021. The tournament began April 8th, the next day. But I guess that's as far as I can zoom in without it going to something else. But this video's from this. It's an unlisted video because that means if you're not on the Patreon, you can't see this video, but on Patreon, you get the link to the video. It shows up as a graphic like you're used to in your YouTube subscription feed. But this is 27 and a half minutes in the video. We began by talking about the significance of the 85th Masters, the racism towards Asians, the types of narratives and numbers to look for, the people with the green jacket connections, which Matsuyama absolutely had. But I'm going to show you what the notes look like when we first went over it, because we did a longer discussion and more people called in with more feedback. And then after day one, when Matsuyama was up near the top 10, we really connected some dots. And man, Matsuyama was still 28-1. And again, he had a great looking narrative, and he ends up winning it. And again, every year we're teaching about Gematria, news, sports, how it's all ritual, how it's all connected. So here, just listen to this real quick. This is from April 7th. You can see it's published right here. But just listen to what we were saying about Matsuyama before the tournament.
And Hideki Matsuyama, again, he's another Asian golfer with some pretty decent odds. He's born on the 56th day of the year. The tournament ends on the 56th day. Tiger was hurt on his 56th day of his age. And the tournament does end 45 days.
I think I have the playback speed faster. I do. Sorry, I don't normally talk that fast. It's on a faster playback speed. So I think you heard it all, but it was kind of like as the Micro Machine Man. Here we go.
After his birthday, a green jacket. Remember, green jacket and Augusta equal 45. He would get his sixth first if he won. If it was Hideki Matsuyama, 21 is the sixth triangular number. So, whoops, that's not what I meant, right? Okay. Scotty Scheffler, his next top 10's 11. 11, the master number.
So anyway, we go through the golfers and we look at what's there. But Matsuyama, he met our Asian criteria. And then he had this 45 days after. Well, then as the show went on, we had people call in with their additional observations. And you see how the note looked when I finished writing it. Also interesting is he got his 48th top 10 and the tournament began on 4-8. We'll get to that as well. But here's what the notes turned into. We added on more. And once we added on more, after day one, man, it was looking good for Matsuyama. That's when we bolded this, and we're just like, man, he's really got all the criteria. Again, if you guys have been following my work, you know how important the number 56 has been in sports and in news all year. Remember the World Series, number 56 out of nowhere, just this dominant baseball player for the Rays. Just so many examples, though. But just these numbers have been everywhere this year if you've been following along. So Matsuyama's born on the 56th day of the year. The tournament began on his 43rd day of his age, which is the 14th prime, and golf's 14, and Tiger won his last Masters at age 43, and now the cause of the car crash came out 43 days after Tiger's supposed wreck on the 97th day of the year when he won his first Masters in 97. But with regards to the tournament starting 42 days after his birthday and ending 40 days after his birthday, because again, in Gematria, Augusta and Green Jacket are 45. Again, if you're new here, Gematria is the practice of coding numbers into words. Again, it's a system. And notice when I write out Green Jacket, it equals 45 in this blue cipher. That is the alphabetic order. A is 1 up to Z is 26 with the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology added. So you see how G is 7, that's because it's the 7th letter. R is 9 because it's the 18th letter, and the numerology of 18 is 1 plus 8 is 9. E is the 5th because it's the 5th letter. N's 5 because it's the 14th letter, and the numerology of 14 is 5. But out of these 4 ciphers up here, the most important is the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. I preach this all the time. So it was 45 days after his birthday. And when you write out Augusta, it equals 45 when you run the alphabetic order in reverse with the rules of numerology. And you see how Augusta's 99 and Green Jacket? His sponsor, the golf ball that he uses, that sponsor name is 99 as well, which is interesting, but it's mostly about his birthday and the Masters ending 45 days after. These are the ritual numbers we're looking for year after year. And understand, 45 is used a lot in rituals, just like March Madness to begin the week was on 4-5, and Gonzaga had the chance to go to 32-0. The last team to do that was Indiana exactly 45 years earlier, and the championship was in Indiana, where earlier in the season in December, Gonzaga and Baylor were supposed to play each other in Indiana, but the game was canceled due to COVID. It ends up being the championship in Indiana. But again, all this stuff is ritual and rigged. Again, yes, you have to be very good at golf. Golf's a difficult sport, but you know what? If the field knows to let a certain person win, they just lay off. They don't go to 100, right? They just play at 85%. You know, they let Matsuyama ball out. And anyway, it's just year after year, it's the same type of thing, you guys. The rituals are scripted off the course and on the course. It's just like the Tiger Woods car crash story was February 23rd, the 54th day of the year, 54 forwards and backwards. Also, Tiger Woods is 135 forwards and backwards. It was 135 days before the start of the NBA Finals. All this stuff related. But again, what we added onto the notes from where we had our first discussion about Matsuyama to what we added on, somebody said, after day one, I was making the point, like, because in the stream I'll start time out things and things will pop out to me in the numbers, and I said something like, you see how it starts 42 days after his birthday on 4/8, and the tournament ends on the date that can be written 11/4? I said, look at how that lines up with World War, right? 114. Again, today's tournament ended on 11/4, right? April 11th. Look at his surname, you guys. Matsuyama, right? Matsuyama in the same way as 114. But just wait until I bring all this together, because this is what's cool about having a community. So I was like, look at that. The tournament ends on 114. His name's 114. And it's 42 days after his birthday that the tournament starts on 4/8. And again, World War II ended in 45, and the championship's 45 days after his birthday. And again, we know how with these sports leagues, they always pay tribute to history. Well, somebody called in and said, Zach, you won't believe this, but the last time he won the championship was 2017, and the last time he won a tournament, the last time he won a PGA tournament was August 6th, 2017. Here it is right here. It was the WGC Bridgestone. This is the last time Morikawa placed first at a tournament. And that Shrixon that he wears on his shirt, that's the golf ball brand. They just got that 95 or 99 and 63, I suppose, like Green Jacket. But really, it's more about that 45-day spacing. But look at this. The last time he won a tournament was August 6, 2017, the anniversary of the bombing of Hiroshima. And Colin Morikawa, who was the favorite Asian to win this tournament, he won the PGA Championship last year on August 9th, 2020, and that tournament began on Thursday, August 6th, ended Sunday, August 9th. August 6th and August 9th are the dates Hiroshima and Nagasaki were born. Hiroshima in Japan, August 6th, Nagasaki, August 9th. These Japanese golfers, Colin Morikawa is Japanese-American. He's born in America, but Japanese ancestry. He was the favored Asian golfer to win. And then Matsuyama is from Japan. And again, these are their big career accomplishments recently. And the other thing interesting about Matsuyama is he won in 2017. And this year at Augusta, the amateur tournament was won by a 17-year-old Japanese woman. And the word Asian in that most pure cipher, the alphabetic order with the rules numerology, is also 17, right? Also 17. So Matsuyama became the first Japanese player to ever win the Masters today in Georgia, a little less than a month after the news really starts focusing on Asian racism that began with the spa shootings in Georgia. And if you go back and watch the videos we did on Patreon, and I even put out the information for free on my GematriaEffectNews website. This post right here I presented on Patreon, but I made it free for everybody who follows my website. It was about the Masters and how they're bringing all these things together. And I said, and a story to think about is the recent killings in Atlanta, Georgia, not far from where the Masters are played, that took place on March 16, 2021. Like 16/3, like 163, the 38th prime, where the Masters is 38. I said there's been a big focus with racism towards Asians since that story, and Tiger Woods is half black and half Asian, and of course, he's a big focus with the Masters. So I really focus on Asian golfers in your personal decodes, because even if they don't win, they could place very well. So I posted this Monday, April 5th, and we decoded more, and then this is before I decoded the golfers, because it takes a lot of time to go through the golfers and run the numbers. But man, when we saw Matsuyama in the 45 days and really noticed the World War thing that they were doing, and again, this is the awesome part about a community, because people who follow golf, they already knew about that coincidence. Remember when that happened on that anniversary? Again, that's the beauty of putting this knowledge out there for years. It's created a group of people who've paid attention to the knowledge and applied it to what they know about life, and they feel like they have a greater edge. There's a gentleman that's from the UK, Ireland. I forget what country you're from. Bali, go backwards. He does great work. He's European. He's over there. Sorry, man. I'm an ignorant American. But he knows a lot about golf. And when he learned Gematria, he started applying it, and he's been just destroying golf tournaments. And you guys, if you're into golf and you want to learn more about golf, Bali's learned the code from me. He's really good with it, and he knows his golf history, and he does amazing work. And Bali, go backwards. I'll link it as the top pinned post when I'm done with this live stream. But again, and look at this. So last night we did a recap after each day, and we were real happy with where Matsuyama was after day 3, 11 under, the master number in the Masters. Said it really looked, it was already looking good for him, but at this point it felt like, yeah, he's probably going to hang on to it. But somebody made an awesome observation yesterday at the end of day 3 that we didn't have before day 3. The last time Matsuyama sniffed being a winner of a tournament was the last time Tiger Woods won a tournament. And look at how this comes together. That tournament was October 24th, 2019 through October 27th, 2019. Tiger Woods won his 82nd career PGA Tour event, right? And that matters because it was the Zozo, and it was in Japan. And you see how Zozo's 82? Well, look at this. Augusta, Georgia, where the Masters is, also has that 82 when you run the alphabetic order inverse with the rules numerology. So Tiger won his 82nd tournament at Zozo in Japan. And then the Japanese golfer Matsuyama, who was runner-up there, he wins in Augusta, Georgia, the Masters, which ESPN, the day the tournament began, said is what this Masters was all about. Remembering Tiger, who's dominated, who's now injured, his career's in jeopardy, this big narrative with no real evidence, just a whole lot of storyline and hearsay. That's why I always laugh that so many people come here and hate and make fun of what I do as we continue to help people earn and make money and just call from sports to weather to elections to news stories before they happen just consistently. And people come here and make fun of it. And it's like, well, I guess that's why you don't cast your pearls before swine. And I guess those swine, they don't know what they're missing out on. So, and like Big Al always says, he says, and I know Big Al's happy today, like Big Al always says, I mean, it's a good thing that there are so many people that just laugh at this, because if they were all doing it, they wouldn't be able to keep rigging it this way. But here's the other thing. Here's what's amazing. Here's what's more amazing about this stat. Where did I just go with it? Right here. I'll just show this to you. But from the day that tournament ended, where Matsuyama came runner-up to Tiger, to this championship at the PGA, winning it at the Masters, it's exactly 76 weeks later. And if you go back over my work with the Tiger and the Masters, I mean, we talked about 76 so many times, you guys. Next year will be the year of the Tiger in terms of the Chinese New Year. But look at this. So again, our date is October 27th, 2019 to today, Sunday, April 11th. So October 27th, 2019, what I got plugged in there when the tournament ended, to today when the Masters ended, April 11th, 2021. You can see that is 76 weeks later. Make that bigger there. Let me see how big I can make that. 76 weeks. Make sure it's showing up on the screen. Okay, 76 weeks. Now notice, when you write out master, right? It's the Masters. When you write out master, it's 76. And when you write out Woods, it's 76, right? And he's like he's one of the greatest masters of the Masters, Tiger Woods. No one would argue with that. And when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, Tiger's also 76. And realize, when I first started teaching this, we already caught on to the 76 master pattern. But we didn't know reverse gematria until 3 years into this study. But that's when I realized, like, things like Tiger, I was like, wow, are you kidding me? When you run the alphabetic order in reverse, even Tiger's 76. And it's just, this is how they do it, you guys. I know people want to keep coming and saying you can't rig golf, and, well, I mean, you can think what you want to think, but we continue to present evidence and be ahead of the curve on most things, a lot more than most people, I know that for sure. And people are still laughing at it. I mean, you can go turn on ESPN all day and have all those guys in suits tell you the wrong team to bet on night after night. You'll still keep tuning in and listening because for whatever reason you think they're the expert because they're the suit on TV and the cable you pay for. Or you can come here for free on my website and YouTube, and I give out knowledge to help people, consistently win even on the free stuff, just like I advised on my website. And I hardly charge anything on Patreon anyway. You look at everyone who's learned from me and start up their own Patreon, and I'm not mad at them. Everyone's always told me I should charge more, but everyone who's learned from me and now competing, and I encourage it. I'm proud of it, man. I'm glad that so many people have learned this and are now making a livelihood from this. But they're all charging way more than I am. I'm just keeping with the classic $5 a month, man, because I never got into this for the money. But it has been nice to build up resources because we're starting to get to a position where we've saved enough over enough months, thanks to all the people who donated, where, like, if the right building becomes available, we're there now. A year and a half, we definitely weren't anywhere near. So, again, every day continuing to put out the content, build the movement, get people to invest so that we can make big things happen. And it's happening at a daily pace. I mean, I always keep thinking that big push is going to come, but anyway, man, it's just the people who do not take the time to study this work and pay attention to it, they really do cheat themselves. And those who come here and snicker and laugh, I mean, they cheat themselves. Here, this article was just written by this UK website, this UK golf website, Golf Magic. This guy right here, Jack Seddon, writes, YouTuber makes video suggesting Tiger Woods car crash is fake. GematriaEffectSports believes the Tiger Woods car crash is a ritual for the Masters Week and that Woods hasn't even had surgery. So then just to read his article, just when I thought the world couldn't get any crazier, I wake up on Wednesday morning to find a video in the and realize he wrote this February 24th. So this is one day after the Tiger Woods thing, and I did a video the day of the Tiger Woods thing. And realize if you're new here, this isn't the first time, people try to take shots at the work. It all started with USA Today, January 6th, or what was it, January 27th, 2016? It was sometime in the middle of January in 2016. But USA Today tried to put down my work. And again, we just been backing up our points year after year. I don't know anyone doing a finer job. I got to be honest. But anyway, the YouTuber who made the video runs an account called GematriaEffectSports, and he has amassed over 65,000 subscribers on that channel that after millions of times of being deleted, and they just deleted GematriaEffectNews while it had 83,000 and some subscribers. It got murdered at 83,000 subscribers, I guess. But again, it's hard to have much of a following. I mean, that number just seems so pathetic to what it should be based on what we've accomplished and the fact that everyone has access right at their fingertips on their phone to this information. And I mean, these are the only people in the world who found value in this over consistently proving what we do year after year for how many years straight? I mean, a better part of a decade? I mean, man. But he writes, where he analyzes sports stories and events using a code system called Gematria and suggests they are rigged, fixed, and in some cases, such as the Wood story, just simply not true. According to Wikipedia, I had no idea what Gematria even was. Gematria is an alphanumeric code of assigning a numerical value to a name, word, or phrase based on its letters. A single word can yield multiple values depending on the cipher used. Gematria is a Hebrew alphanumeric code or cipher that was probably used in biblical times and was later adopted by other cultures. So then he writes, the video was streamed live on YouTube as the news about Woods started to make the headlines. And the conspiracy theorist starts the video by saying, the big news on February 23rd, the 54th day of the year, Tiger Woods has reportedly crashed in a one-car accident. I would bet my house, all my life savings, my mom's life, and my dad's life, and everyone else's life, including my own, that this entire story is a huge pile of bullshit. So you can tell he's British, because I didn't say my mom's life, but that's probably the way he hears it through his British ears, where they do say mum and we say mom. But then he writes, well, apologies if any fans of his channel are reading this, but the only bullshit I'm hearing is coming out of this man's mouth in the video. And again, to write that about somebody who could, I don't know, can anybody else say in the world that from before the 2019 and 2020 Masters began, they had the right golfer to win it both years? Because we did. And this year, I couldn't say that about this year, but I saw there was a good chance with Matsuyama. What I advised people to do before the tournament began was just place a dollar bet on some of the golfers that were like in the 40-1 range, 30-1 range, 120-1 range. Like there was like 10 golfers in that group who had interesting narratives. Matsuyama's rated on the better half, plus he was 40-1 more likely, plus he had the Asian thing where that was a real, that's what we were really focused on. It would really make a lot of sense if an Asian golfer won the Masters this year in light of the focus in the news. So, I mean, had you put $1 on Matsuyama before the tournament, it was 40-1. You would have made $40 off that $1. And had you put had you taken $10, broke it into one, and put it on 10 different golfers between, that were 30-1 and 120-1, had you done that, you'd be out $9, but you would have won 40, and you'd keep the one that you bet on the 40-1. So you'd have 41 minus 9, so you'd be up $32, right? $32. Now, again, I always tell people to just be modest with this knowledge. Be modest with it. Don't try to become a millionaire. Just be the turtle each day. Just keep saving up. When you use this knowledge, it's going to put you ahead of the curve. You're going to come out ahead of the curve like most people do. Big Al. Again, Big Al is one of the best examples because he's been with us for so long. He's been modest the whole time. He's continually won. He's padded his own salary. He's a working class man that's made there was a certain year, I don't know if it's true every year, but a certain year he's like, man, I made more money from my side habit this year than my day job. And again, he never bets the house. He just consistently just makes smart little bets, little parlays that make sense and earns. And to me, I think it's better to not buy lotto and not gamble, honestly, and just not have any of that part of your life because there is some anxiety to it and it probably puts some gray hairs on you. It's probably better just to avoid that altogether. But the reality is there's already a lot of men in this world who gamble. They're already addicted to gambling. Gambling's their thing. Well, if that's you, I'd rather help those people benefit and win back from the casinos that live off them like vultures, who've got the whole system rigged. That's why people can't wrap their head around what's so easy to understand. It's all tied up. I mean, they're advertising these casinos to you during the game. Scott Van Pelt's laughing at you doing his bad beats on how they flip the script on the gamblers in these crazy ways at the ends of games. Just showing you how blatant it is in some places. And, again, ultimately, it's the best thing to do is probably just not gamble. But hey, if you already gamble and you're addicted, you might as well have this knowledge and win more. Okay? Because that's what people do with this knowledge. Okay. But then he writes, at around 11 minutes in the video, I wonder if that was a little tribute from him, the master number right before the Masters. At around 11 minutes in the video, the conspiracy theorist suggests that not a single part of the story is true and that Woods hasn't even had surgery. That's a really dishonest way to write, because what I pointed out is how ESPN went on at length about all this stuff that was going on with Tiger Woods, and I forget what they were talking about at the time, surgery, just whatever it was. But then at the end of it, when they got done explaining all this, and they said, and by the way, none of this comes from a doctor, Tiger Woods, or anyone in his camp. It's all just the information out there right now. It's like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Do people ask these questions? I mean, how do you know the whole story's not bullshit? To me, it looks like it's a load of bullshit. There hasn't been a single shred of evidence anywhere that Tiger was injured. Somebody show me the evidence. Have they showed Tiger even like in a hospital bed like Black Rob the other day? By the way, Black Rob, DMX on the song 24 Hours to Live, probably DMX's first song that was ever out there, even though it was right before 4321, which got more attention. But Black Rob, DMX, that song came out in 97 on Harlem World, the Mace album. And it's 24 years later, 2021. It'll be the 24-year anniversary of that album. 24 Hours to Live is the song, and both of them are on there. And DMX is now dead, and Black Rob gets the headlines right after because he's dying in a hospital bed. It's like, what? DMX starts his verse, 24 left until my death. If you listen to the other rappers on the verse, I notice a lot of them mention 24 hours, but DMX starts, he has the last two. 24 left until my death, he says. He doesn't say hours. Maybe he knew. You know, just like in the beginning of Belly when he says, I sold my soul to the devil and the price was cheap. Could be true for this guy writing this article too, but let's continue reading his publication that he's just going to have to apologize for and realize he's wrong. I got all the facts, man. This guy doesn't have any facts. I mean, he's bashing that I said it was a master's ritual. They put out the cause of the accident on April 7th, the 97th day of the year, when Tiger won his first Masters in 97. And then he won his next one, or he won the one in 2019, his last, 22 years later. Like golf's 22, like Woods is 22, like 22 is the Master Builder number. And he'd won his last major 11 years before that last Masters, 11 and 22, the two master numbers. But again, on the 97th day of the year and then 43 days after the wreck. Just like how we liked him to win the Masters in 2019 at age 43. 43, the 14th prime. Golf's also 14. Colin Morikawa, the tournament started 42 days after his birthday, or you could say on his 43rd day of his age. Again, just the same numbers year after year. And then the blurb that he was traveling 83 miles per hour. Tiger Woods won the 83rd Masters in 2019. I mean, the whole thing's clearly a Masters ritual. And then an Asian golfer wins it. Tiger's half Asian after the big focus on Asians in Georgia on March 16th in the spa shootings. 3 locations, 8 dead. The Masters 38. It was on 16/3, like 163, the 38th prime. By the way, one of the things that was real interesting about Morikawa, who's the Japanese-American golfer, those spa shootings that had 38 coated all over it, which is what we talked about the day of, that shooting was on his 38th day of his age. He played well on day one. I'm not sure where Morikawa finished. Colin Morikawa. He was the most favored Asian golfer to win the Masters. And again, Im and Matsuyama were behind him, and Im and Matsuyama were right next to each other. I think Im had a slightly better odds than Matsuyama to win. So Matsuyama was the third, and he did win it. And again, the man born on the 56th day of the year, and today the tournament ended on a 56-date numerology, and don't forget, Tiger Woods got injured on his 56th day of his age. But then he writes, we'll see if they say he's going to miss the Masters because of this. We'll see. I'm going to be paying attention. I guarantee this story's bullshit. He's not out getting surgery on his legs right now. This is all just sports theater narrative bullshit, the kind of stuff they feed you every day, and you just eat right up. And yeah, so he's quoting me from the video, and that's fine, because that's all correct. And just like, because we understand that the news and sports are all bullshit and scripted, we take advantage of it and we win money. I mean, and I don't want to make it about that, but it's just like, okay, do you guys have a point to anything you're saying? You're just saying that your response is, well, I think you're bullshit? I mean, what are you, in second grade? Who hired you to write for this online, golf journal? Tell you what, man. We live in a world of lemmings, and I'm over here teaching you guys how not to be a lemming. If you guys aren't over on my twitch.tv channel, you should go watch. I'm teaching people how to shop in stores like a human being in the time of the pandemic. I was just at a grocery store where I had all these employees screaming at me to put a mask on, and it looks like somebody just took a shit in their mouth. They got all this brown exhaust all around their mouth. I'm like, dude, are you touching your mask? Because it looks nasty as hell. Are you touching the produce in here? Because maybe it's not safe for me to shop here. You got diarrhea on your mask, man. Come on. I've been healthy all year. Don't tell me what to do. Come on, Chubbs. Eat better. You want to be a health expert? It doesn't have nothing to do with... Anyway, I can't say too much on that. You can't say anything this day and age. The censorship police, but man, it's about more than just gematria and seeing through the rigged system. You got to go out and act a certain way too. We're just trying to inspire people to be the real deal over here. So then he writes, listen, I know absolutely nothing about Gematria, and this bloke has plenty of subscribers, so he's clearly not the only one who thinks the Woods story is fake, but there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that what we are hearing is true, and from everyone at Golf Magic, we wish Tiger a speedy recovery and send our love to his family. Okay, and again, I just want to remind you that Tiger won his 82nd tournament, the Zozo 82, in Japan, where Matsuyama came in runner-up there. And that was 76 weeks before the Masters, where Masters 76 and Woods is 76. And back to that 82, Augusta, Georgia's 82. From the Zozo to the Augusta. And remember, the tournament Tiger won before that was the Masters. Masters, Zozo, back to the Masters. Asian golfers, technically. Tiger Woods is Asian, by definition. So is Matsuyama. It's just so. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys something too. I'm going to do this right now just so you guys understand this. Sometimes I make videos that are private on Patreon public, and people are like, I'm confused. Why does it show that this like streamed days ago, but it's brand new on my end? I'm going to show you guys how that works right now. See, when I go to manage videos from my end, when I go to manage videos and I go to live, you see all these videos that are unlisted? These are videos that are for the Patreon people. These are videos for the Patreon people. And I can change it right here. I just set it to public, and then when I do that, it publishes it as new for people who've never seen it before. But for people who are already on Patreon, it's not new to them. So, again, a lot of people get confused about that, and that's just how it works. So... Okay, what I'll do, though, is I'll take some calls, and, whoops. If anybody else has any other really great options. Actually, before I take any calls, hold on. Before I take any calls, I'm tripping. I need to call Young Ben. If you guys don't know Young Ben, he's been following us since he was in high school. He's now in college. And Ben, this is a true story. I covered it. I wish my channel wasn't deleted because I covered it in real time. Ben actually made ESPN in high school because he got 2 hole-in-ones in the same round of golf. And, you know, that just made like one of the most impressive things of the day. And anybody who's ever golfed knows that that is so hard, a hole-in-one. I mean, you might not have a hole-in-one your whole life. So let me get Ben on because Ben's really good with his golf knowledge. I think he has something way more mind-blowing than I've shared yet. Ben?
What's up, Zach?
All right, man. So I know you said you got something good when I go live. I'm just going to let you run with it.
Okay, so I actually decoded more as we were doing it, but guys, man, this is unbelievable how this all comes together. So, okay. So the most famous Japanese golfer ever. Like, all the Japanese golfers look up to this guy. You know, he was the first Japanese and maybe even the only one to make the World Golf Hall of Fame. His name is Isao. Okay.
You cut out.
Aoki.
Ben, you cut out when you said his name is. It just cut out right there. So start over again.
Okay. His name is Isao Aoki. It's the Japanese, the famous Japanese golfer's name. Okay. Isao Aoki. You spell it I-S-A-O is his first name, and then his last name is A-O-K-I. Okay. So, yeah, everybody looked. I'm pretty sure I heard a long time ago Matsuyama looked up to him when he was growing up playing golf, and you know all the people.
He was born in 42. I see he was born in 42, man. Okay,
well,
go ahead.
No, man, it gets way better than that. From the day he turned 78 last August to it's 223 days later. 223 Masters tournament equals 223. Okay?
Right.
And yep, and he was born in 42, like how the tournament began 42 days after Matsuyama's birthday, and Japan equals 42.
And the whole World War
And-
thing. The whole World War and
And the
Pearl
whole
Harbor
World
thing.
War thing. The whole World War thing. And get this, man. Japan's emperor, Naruhito, their emperor, Naruhito, his birthday is February 23rd, 223. So that brings together...
Oh, the same day that Tiger crashed.
Exactly, at 7/12, like the Pearl Harbor Day. And
Oh, yeah. Okay, so everybody, even when I covered the Tiger thing, I said, God, there's got to be a reason they're saying he crashed at 7/12. There's got to be something to that. And we actually figured that in the Patreon. Somebody called in and pointed that out before. 7/12 is how you write the date for Pearl Harbor, the 7th day of the 12th month. So Tiger's car crash time was a tribute to Pearl Harbor in the World War. Pearl Harbor's 114, World War's 114, Matsuyama's 114, tournament ends on 11/4. Okay, go ahead, Ben.
no, dude, it gets even better than... Naruhito took office May 1st, 2019. It's his 712th day of being emperor. 7/12.
That's just like how Kobe's death was synced with him. Kobe's death was synced with that guy.
Yeah, because of Kobe, Japan, and
And he's the this guy's the 126th emperor too. Like Kobe died on 126.
Exactly, and Kobe, Japan, and there was like a 271-58 connection. I can't remember off the top of my head. But no, I mean today's Naruhito's 712th day of being emperor with all this 7/12 Pearl Harbor stuff going on, and his birthday is 2/23, the day Tiger Woods crashed at 7/12, and it was a direct tribute to this, obviously. But back to Isao Aoki, because Isao Aoki plays in because he was the closest Japanese to ever winning a major at the 1980 Masters. The 1980 U.S. Open. That was the closest the Japanese came to winning the major before today. But Aoki's only win on the PGA Tour, because he won like 50 times in Japan, his only PGA Tour win was at the 1983 Hawaiian Open. Hawaii, Pearl Harbor,
and there was a shooting in the news in Hawaii. This shooting scare at the hotel.
Exactly.
God,
now today's the news of the Hawaii on lockdown after all the Pearl Harbor stuff going on. And Isao Aoki's only PGA Tour win was at the 1983 Hawaiian Open, like how Matsuyama's last win was in a tournament that started on 8/3. And Tiger crashed at 83 miles an hour. We know how he fits in. And, of course, Tiger won the 83rd Masters not that long ago. And so all that fits in. And Isao Aoki, yeah. All right, he definitely had a lot to do with today. And I'm looking out for Isao Aoki now. I thought he might die before the end of the year because that was his big accomplishment. The first Japanese to win on the PGA Tour, and he did it in 83, and this is 38 years later, and we've talked about watch out for people who got their big accomplishments in 83.
He would turn 79 if he made it to his birthday, the 22nd prime, and again a number that comes right back to the Masters.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe he'll be one of those maybe he'll be like one of those deaths that happens in December or something. How funny would it be if he died on his 126th day of his age or something like that?
Or if he died on Pearl Harbor.
Oh my God, forget it.
That's how they do stuff, though.
But that would be better than Chadwick Boseman today.
No, it wouldn't. People would get it even less. You can't get more obvious than the Chadwick Boseman. That's why I'm just like, people are gone, man.
Yep, exactly. Oh, and someone just wrote in the chat, "Stop Asian hate equals 223."
Is that the phrase that they're actually using?
Yeah, that's what Spotify and all these other social media platforms are saying is the hashtag.
Yeah,
Stop
Asian hate protest. Unreal, man. Unreal. Wait. But I don't see that it equals 223. That's what I don't see.
Oh, well, someone wrote it in the chat. Maybe
they're using some other cipher here. Let me just take a scan at these other ciphers. I see it's 2.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah, I think we got to check the spelling there. So.
Okay, yeah, maybe all right, never mind. We'll scratch that. But
okay.
Anyway, all the other stuff hits. But here's the other thing about Isao Aoki. His birthday is August 31st. That's the day in history that Princess Diana died in 97. That's when Masters was 97.
Oh yeah, that's right, August 31st.
And
now Prince Philip died
exactly.
on. Oh my God.
And King Philip died. And Justin Rose, the Englishman, had the biggest lead after day one since World War II.
And it's a tribute to who started the wars and where it's all coming out of. This British Empire, the sun never sets on Britain thing. That's exactly what it's all about.
Yep, and now...
Hold on, for people, the advantage Ben and I have is we've been having this conversation for like 4 straight days, but again, day one of the Masters, the way it was worded in the mainstream is that Justin Rose had the biggest lead in the Masters after day one since the World War. And had we already seen the Matsuyama World War connection before that headline? I'm pretty sure we had.
No, yeah, we had. I mean,
so that's why everyone. That's why
I'm pretty sure I called in about it before the tournament even started. Like even before day one, I was on Matsuyama.
Yeah.
Because mostly because of the 11/4 end date and Pearl Harbor equaling. Look out for the Asian stuff. So I just took those 2 pieces of information. I was like, Japanese makes a lot of sense. Morikawa made sense too, but I had a feeling about Matsuyama just because, they've been hyping him up for years and years and years, and they're saying he's going to win a major eventually. And I'm like, well, this could be the year. And of course, he shot 73 today, the 21st prime, to win the 21 Masters. So
right.
Right. But yeah, and Isao Aoki equals 55, the 10th triangular in Fibonacci, and he finished the tournament 10 under. But no, I mean, like, Prince Philip dead during the tournament, and oh my gosh, man. And then Justin Rose, the Englishman, has the biggest lead after day one since World War II, and then all this other crap going on. Oh, and by the way, Naruhito, the name of the emperor, equals 106 and 43, like how the tournament began on Matsuyama's 43rd day of his age, and died when he last won the Masters, and Jaws of Life equals 106 and 43.
Right. Yeah, I'm putting together the post of everything you're sharing, but here it is right here. Tiger crashed at 7:12 on February 23rd, and then on the 712th day of the Emperor's Day, it raining. It's the thing, and his birthday's the day Tiger. It really is unbelievable how they do this, and it's just like how we've been saying Tiger and the Lakers are synced up. That's the other thing we've been talking about. And then this Naruto was synced with Kobe's death, and now he's synced with the Tiger ritual and the Masters. It's like, I mean, if people don't think the New World Order is a real thing and we're exposing it, you better ask yourself why the channel's been deleted 21 times.
Right. So. And not to mention Isao Aoki, on another note, they say he won 80 total professional events in his career, and Isao Aoki equals 80. So, fitting.
Amazing work, Ben. Amazing work.
Yeah, no. So, I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. I forgot to mention this, too. So, Naruhito is the head of the Imperial House of Japan, right? And the Imperial House of Japan, in history, was founded on the February 11th, the 42nd day of the year, in 660 BC. 42nd day of the year. 42 all over the place. Aoki born in 42. Japan 42. Tournament begins 42 days after Matsuyama's birthday.
Well, remember this, too. Of course, Japan is 42, but when you write out war, it's 42 and 21. And what a year to pay tribute to the history of World War in 21, because war has the 21 connection. Of course, war is also 39, like the year World War II began. And remember that in the Asian country on 2/1, February 1st, that's where the military overthrew Burma, the least known Asian nation in America, even though it has over 50-some million people that live there.
Yeah, man. The Asian thing's been going on really all year. I mean, with Burma especially, and then the Asian hate thing a month later, and now Matsuyama wins the Masters as we said he would.
As you said he would. By the way, Ben was also the most confident about Matsuyama from the beginning. Shout out to Ben.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I liked him more than Morikawa. I mean, it made more sense. I mean, it just made more sense logically as someone who follows golf. But, because Morikawa got his big hit at the PGA, so it made sense. And they've been, I remember back when Spieth won the Masters, 6 years ago, Matsuyama was up near the top back then. And I remember watching that tournament, and they were saying, it might not be this year, but this guy will win a major eventually. They were, kind of like what found back in 2017, so.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
just
did you notice that the Emperor's 61 years old right now?
yep, the 18th prime, 18 holes on the golf course.
Well, and the Masters is 61.
Oh, and Hideki Matsuyama 61. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, there even more evidence. You know, he's the perfect age for a golf ritual related to him.
Oh, remember?
of course-
Hey, remember, you guys, if you measure from the governor, Brian Kemp, the governor of Georgia, if you measure from his birthday to today, it's 160 days later, and Hideki Matsuyama's 160. And again, this is what, I mean, you guys, it's about more than just winning money. It's about how can all this stuff be lined up week after week? How could it all just be organic, like it was meant for the world to have Brian Kemp? And there's no way, man. I mean, this is some serious manipulation, some serious ritual.
Yeah. Oh, and I just noticed that Naruhito, the day he took office, May 1st, 2019, is a date with 45 numerology. So, you know, a green jacket and Augusta are 45. You know, 45 days later, 45 days after Matsuyama's birthday, he's the champ. Puts on the green jacket. So, but yeah, man. I mean, we know the Jesuits love Japan. This was a very Jesuit master.
Oh, yeah. Adolfo Nicholas died in Japan. May 20th.
Yeah, and he had a lot, and he spent a lot of his life in Japan too. I'm pretty sure he was in charge of all of the Japanese Jesuit missions in the time he was alive, because he went to college there, and you know, I even found something. I stumbled upon something once that, you know, said that he was responsible for the Pacific Rim blowing up on March 11th, 2011. Which, you know, is probably true. I mean, I think it happened like 316 days after his birthday, like John 3:16, and you know, Jesuits, Catholicism, and doing rituals. But I'm trying to see if there's anything. Oh, did I miss anything? No, I think the thing that really blew my mind the most was the fact that it was the 712th day that Naruhito's the emperor, with all this Pearl Harbor shit going on.
It is. It's truly mind blowing, and the 712 wreck, and how we saw that his name in the end would fit with World War and Pearl Harbor. It's crazy, man. It is crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what goes on. I could have never imagined. Hold on here. I want to see one more thing real quick, because like I've just been seeing the Jaws of Life numbers everywhere. Hold on, let me get the base cipher. Okay. Well, I noticed that the founder of the Jaws of Life tool was George Hurst, and George Hurst equals 55, the 10th Fibonacci and triangular, and Matsuyama won at 10 under. Maybe nothing too much there, but yeah, no. I mean, that's really all I got. I don't think I'll be able to find any more with all this, you know, England and Japan and the world wars. I mean, come on, man. So.
You share this one with your dad?
I'm going to. I mean, this is outrageous. I mean, I was sharing it with my friends last night, because, you know, it's funny. I was at my friend's house last night, and you know, we were having fun or whatever. And I told him, you know, I had Matsuyama to win the Masters before it began, because like I'm in a group chat with some people in this community, and I told him that I liked Matsuyama, especially after he put out the post about look out for the Asian golfers. Yeah. And I in my head I was like, oh, Matsuyama was born on the 56th day of the year, and it's 42 days after his birthday that this starts. I didn't even make the green jacket connection or the Pearl Harbor connection until I made the call and started talking off the cuff. But and the Princess Diana, and now we got the whole fact that Aoki's birthday is the same day Princess Diana died, and it was in 97 when Tiger won his first Masters in 97. It just all comes together. It's truly amazing. But
it is truly amazing.
But yeah. So I had that I had that in my head, and I showed them, and they really like Juice WRLD, so I showed them a lot about Juice WRLD's death, And they didn't believe me when I told them that that Juice WRLD had an O in his Twitter handle. They were like, "No, he didn't." I was like, "Yeah, he did," and that's why it equals 128, like how he died on 12/8. And I was showing them all the 42 stuff. And at first they thought I was crazy, but then when they saw that the N-word and Jackie both equaled 42 and Juice WRLD equals 42, they're like, "Oh, there might be something to this."
Exactly. He's got to get him with the
and
right
I
example.
showed them that Moses Walker equals 42, and he played in 42 games, and they're like, "Oh shit."
Exactly. How do you defeat these bullet points?
Yeah. 42 though. 2 very special number. But but I mean this whole thing, and like I said, Isao Aoki, you might want to watch out. He could die at 78 or 79 because both of those are Jesuit Society of Jesus numbers. So.
Right. Right.
I mean, who knows? And he would definitely die. I highly expect there to be a number in connection to the Masters if he did. So.
Right. Right.
Awesome. All right. Work, well, man. I'm going to let other people call, but thanks for taking my call. Well, thanks for doing the live with me.
Of course. Thank
hope
you.
You appreciate all the information, and have a good night.
Yeah, Ben. You keep up the great work, man. You're awesome.
All right. No problem.
Right, take care.
Goodbye.
Yeah, you guys. I mean, he's been with us since he was in high school. So, he's very smart. He's very smart. He's already better. I think he's already better at this than I am. All right, I have opened the line if you guys want to call in. It's the 509. Oh, we already got a call. It's the number on the screen. 607?
Yeah, what's going on, Zach?
Yeah, what's up?
Dude, your work is just great, and Ben, it's really great to have people like him in the community. I didn't know he had 2 hole-in-ones before. That's pretty cool. But, like, I feel like this knowledge gets, like, a rap of, like, people that wear tinfoil on their heads and, like, weird
Well, people can keep thinking that all they want. They're only missing out with that whole mindset. That whole mindset's keeping them from seeing something that's truly amazing.
It's truly amazing. And, like, it's callers like Ben and, like, just not just him, but all the callers, like, are generally pretty good. And it's like, yeah, they're the ones that are missing out for sure. And I don't know if you caught there was a 78-minute delay, and the caddy for Matsuyama, he was wearing the number 78. Like, every caddy has the number. Like,
right.
And Matsuyama's caddy was 78. And after the 78-minute delay, he came out of the delay really, like, dominating. So it's undeniable, man. And that's pretty much all I have, though.
Appreciate
and,
you, man.
Yeah, dude, in the community that you've made, like, grassroots, it's just incredible. Like, it's already incredible that it even got this big. Like, that.
Well, it'd be a lot bigger if they hadn't censored us so much. It'd be so much better, but it's good for what it is, man. It is nice that there's enough people over the years who found out and now contribute, and it is inspiring. So I appreciate you, man.
It is, and I want to say thank you, man, and that's all I have.
Well, you're very welcome. You have a good rest of your night.
You too, man.
Right, take care. Okay, the line is open. Again, it's a cell phone, so it's first come, first serve. If somebody's already on the line, I can't pick up. So you just got to keep being persistent. 586.
Hey, what's up, man? It's Rick from Michigan. Just wanted to say, yeah, Ben, he called that the day before on Wednesday when you guys were talking about that, because I was watching the live stream, and I was like, like you said, just sprinkle some money here and there, you know what I mean? I end up sprinkling it across like 10 people, but then I would parlay it with the Lakers. I just put $5 down on Matsuyama, got me 223 to 1 odds. So hopefully in July that 5 turns into what's that, $1,115.
There you go, man. Very cool. Very cool.
But what I was gonna call about just all the Tiger Woods stuff. Obviously, I started looking into him. I used to watch it a lot, but not anymore. But he's tied for first wins of all time with 82. And you know, with all this stuff going on, I started looking into Jack Nicklaus because they always, you know, compare him with Jack Nicklaus or whatever.
Right.
So he's got what was it? He's his name's 83. They call him the Golden Bear. Golden Bear's 83.
Right.
He's tied with Sam Snead for 82 wins right now.
Right.
So I think there's going to be something going on with the 83, Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, all that stuff.
Well, remember 83
So
is
when he
the
comes
23rd
back,
prime, and that's a number that goes with the Masters tournament because Masters is 23, and the name of the course is 83 in the most pure cipher, just like how the last Masters he won was the 83rd, and now they said he was traveling 83 miles per hour when he crashed.
So how funny would that be? I think we're calling it right now. I say 2023, he ties Jack Nicklaus with 6 green jackets.
I'm going to think more about that one, but there's definitely
For
rhyme
real,
and
look
reason
into
to it.
that, because I'm telling you, man, Jack Nicklaus has 6 green jackets. Tiger's got 5. He's on 82 wins. How perfect would it be?
Yeah, look, if they already have the date for the Masters next year, see what date it's on. Maybe it ends on a 6-date numerology. That'd be a big tell right there.
Yeah, like you said, though, what did you say, 83 is the what? The 23rd?
Prime, and Masters is 23.
Yeah. So in 2023, how fitting would that be? You know, coming back from the big car crash, your legs were all fucked up.
Yeah, and I see exactly what you're saying now because it's 23. It's the year 23, 83, the 23rd prime. Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying.
Michael Jordan, 23, all that shit, man. It's just so crazy.
Yeah.
Like I said, I tried to put everybody onto this, and they just look at me like I'm a fucking weirdo. But I'm like, hey, dude, whatever. I'm gonna continue to follow and try to keep spreading the word because it's just sad that no one catches on to it, man. Or they just don't give a fuck.
Well, not no one, but hardly anyone.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
You go, man. But yeah, look into that.
All right, take care, man.
All right, man.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
904, you're on. What's up, 904?
Hey,
You got
I'm
me?
talking about I'm talking about the Masters, the guy that won the Masters.
Yes.
I just got finished watching the King Kong versus Godzilla movie last night,
Right.
and that movie got a lot to do with a lot of stuff too. You know, about how they at the end they befriended each other and they helped each other out.
Right. So they'll
And
come together.
That's why the guy from Japan won.
So it's just about the cooperating and coming together?
Right.
Right. But it's like who's cooperating? Is it like the people of the countries are cooperating or the governments are kind of cooperating and conspiring against their people?
When I think the moral of that story, when I've seen the movie, that the people they wanted to see both of them kill each other,
Sure.
but the monsters actually helped each other out and they fooled the people, you know.
Sure.
And the government of Japan wanted King Kong to die.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check that out. It's interesting that movie's out right now in light of all these big Japanese things and Asian racism, because of course Godzilla's an Asian film series, and I'm not sure if King Kong is, but I know Godzilla is.
King Kong is so-called American.
Okay, so American and Japan. Okay, that makes
Well, he was actually stuck on Skull Island, his own island, and the Americans came to Skull Island, you know what I'm saying, and tried to take over his island. So King Kong tried to fight back, and then he fought back and won. Then they tried to get Godzilla though. They actually in that movie they made a robot Godzilla, and King Kong destroyed the robot Godzilla though. And then they sent the real Godzilla over to try to destroy King Kong.
I see.
Both of them realized what was going on.
I see. Well, I appreciate
it's a
that.
good movie though.
I really appreciate that insight. I'm gonna make a point to see the movie so I can pick up more on what you're talking about. But I appreciate that. Very great observations.
All right, man.
All right, you have a good day. Take care.
Peace.
Yeah, I mean, again, a big Japanese film, you know, Asian racism, Japanese winning the Masters. I mean, it's just, that's how they do it, man. What's up, no caller ID? Hello? Oh, you hung up. What's up, 619?
What up, Zach? What's going on, man? Hey, surface level stuff, like we said, Dan. You and Ben,
dug deep into it, but the surface level stuff that I kept telling everybody, guys, look at the Asian predictive programming they're putting in the news in Georgia. I'm in Georgia.
That's exactly how we started it. That was the first thing we looked at. That was the square one. I said, man, I really expect Asians to do well.
Absolutely. And I told people, I said, look at the Asian players, right? Matsuyama, and then I think the second line stream you said we were looking at Kim, and then we were looking at some other guys. And I told people, put your money on. I said, do it like Zach says, do it. Hedge your bets. You know, I tell it. What's crazy is I told people to do this, and I didn't do it myself. I was looking at even before the tournament started, and we knew it was going to be an Asian player. I was going to put 100 on, just I think 4 Asian players. And I think Matsuyama was paying on Bovada like 20,000 plus. And I was like, bro, no, he was 10,000. If you put $100 on him, you won $10,000. And I didn't do it. You know what I mean? Because I'm so iffy about the gambling thing right now. And even in Super Bowl 55, when you had said, and we were confident, look, Buccaneers over Kansas City, and they were sitting at plus 800 on Bovada, and I didn't do it. And I was going to put 1,000 on that, but I think my girlfriend had made me pissed off that day, so I didn't do it. So I was like, fuck it, you know what I mean? But man, from now on, bro, I mean, your top guys to decode, of course, Jeremy had a good call because he called Spice, and Spice I think was in the top 10. Ben, a lot of these guys I call, some of these guys, like I said, are shills, but your main guys, man, they get the green light all day. Ben, Jeremy, Big Al, when they call, man, we should be all listening to the 4 of you guys because you guys know it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, these are veterans in the community. And I'm going to say something. There might be a man out there right now who's listening, and I don't know what to think about you. You said you got hurt when you were a kid and you're slow in the head, but I noticed when he calls in, he likes to use up a lot of time, and he's always real confident about something that's always incorrect. He hasn't been right a single time, and I feel bad for this guy. And he got last time I was trying to get him off after like 15 minutes, he acted like I was rushing him. And I'm just starting to wonder about this guy. I'm like, he takes up so much time, and he's real confident about a wrong pick every single time he calls in.
Yep, I've been noticing when I listen, I said, dude, that's a shield right there. That's another shield because the guys who call, they come with good information about what we're talking about, the sports game, and then, they connect it with real life news that's going on. And then you have some guy that calls that's just off the wall stuff like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, this guy's just trying to buy up time so the real people won't call, you know what I'm saying? So, man, we're doing it, man. We're waking up people, and, like you said, it's not about the gambling, you know what I'm saying? We're doing 2 things. We're waking up people one mind at a time. I mean, these people are slow as fuck. I'm talking about dumb as hell. I'm like, bro, when we tell them anything, they don't get it. We're like, what the hell? And then we're hitting them with their wallets. You know what I'm saying? We're hitting them in the wallet. They hate losing money. Vegas hates losing money. Look, we're on to your bullshit. We're on to your scripting. So, what are you going to do now that we know what's going on? You know what I mean? So that's all I got, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, you have a good night. I see we actually have a pretty low viewership tonight. People don't care about golf as much. They're missing out. What's up, 515? 515 hung up. Well, the line is open, but yeah, a lot of people are missing out on tonight's broadcast, man. I mean, isn't it just amazing what we prove? I want to see the dude who wrote the article at Golf Magic. I want to follow up. How about an actual interview where you talk to me? Let's see what kind of arguments you got. You have to be calling a lot of things a coincidence. What's up, Gary?
Hey, Zach. What's going on, man? Hey, check out the Prime Minister of Japan, Yoshihide Sugar. I don't know how to pronounce it, but he's a big 201.
Oh, really? The Prime Minister, huh?
Yeah, the current one. He's 201, I think, in reverse.
What are the odds of that?
Yeah, pretty interesting. Figured I'd just kind of let you know about that. But yeah,
I'm going to get him up here. And that just reminds me, Kobe's death, which was synced up with the Emperor. He was from Catholic Mass, and Catholic Mass is 201 like the Jesuit order.
Yeah.
So
very interesting indeed.
I got to see real quick while you just say that. I got to measure from the day Adolfo Nicholas died in Japan. I just got to see. May 20th, 2020 to today. What's that? 323 days. 3 2 3s. That's a Lucifer number, but yeah, I don't know.
I found it interesting. Prime Minister's birthday. It's not December 7th, but December 6th, so a day off. But that would have been something if it was December 7th.
Well, like Ben said, the gentleman who's about to turn 79, that Japanese great golfer. Asian people live long, but man, if he passed at 79 in a ritual, I would not be surprised if they did it on Pearl Harbor Day, the way they love to smack us in the face with stuff.
Yeah, no one would recognize it either. They'll just be like, oh, that's a coincidence.
They could start a whole nother war with Japan on Pearl Harbor Day, and people wouldn't even get it, man. That's how sad it is.
Yeah, it's very, very sad. Yep, it's never ending.
So look at this. Again, the Masters began 42 days after the guy who won its birthday on 4-8, and then it ended on 11/4, and World Wars got 42, 48, 114, and again, Matsuyama's 114, and so is Pearl Harbor. But then the only value from the base ciphers not used is 102, and Colin Morikawa, who's Japanese-American, won the 102nd PGA Championship on August 9th, and it started on August 6th, and those are the dates we bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It's just like, come on, man.
If you look at the Prime Minister's first name, I think it equals 102 and 42.
I gotta get his
I
name.
think so.
Japan Prime Minister. Yeah, because again, 102 is the big war number. World War is 102. Art of War, translated by the Jesuits, 102. The American Civil War started on the 102nd day of the year. The War on Germs started 102 years after Spanish flu. Yoshida.
There's an article.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, there's an article I saw that randomly popped up on YouTube from like 10 or 12 years ago or something that said the World War I veteran, I think it was, turned 110 years old, and 110 plays a big role, but there's something else that dealt with 102 as well. But CNN put this up, said 110, and 110 plays a big role. But I have to find that and send it to you.
I just noticed that Brian Kemp is the 83rd governor of Georgia, because it's even synced with him, and the master's course equals 83. God, it's crazy how they do this stuff.
Yeah.
It is crazy, man.
It's frustrating.
Well, you just added another 201 to the list. I don't think I had that one before. A good one.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I didn't even know a new prime minister took over. I guess took over in September.
For Japan?
That's funny, you haven't seen much of this guy.
Yeah?
Yeah, for Japan, yeah.
Well, we'll see going forward.
For sure, man. But yeah, I'm gonna watch a little bit more, and I'm gonna go to bed. I gotta work tomorrow.
All right, get some rest, man. Good job reading.
All right, man. Take it easy.
You're inspiring me over here.
You.
All right, take care, man.
All right, brother.
See
Bye-bye.
What's up, Dallas?
Yo, Zach, what's going on?
What's up?
Nothing much, man. It's like trying to find you is like a needle in a haystack. I'm on Gematria 22. I'm on the Twitch. I'm on Gematria Sports. I'm not sure exactly.
I know,
when
man.
you're going live.
I know it's a chore. So.
Yeah, but I'm searching for you. I'm trying to make sure I get the information. But I want to give you a heads up. I know you're familiar with the Elgin Baylor, dying at age 86. Baylor winning 86 to 70.
Yeah.
But he won by 16 points.
And he died during the Sweet 16. Is that what you're going to say? He died during the Sweet 16?
Well, no, but you know what? Sweet 16 is funny because 16 years ago, Baylor girls basketball won their first championship in 2005.
Crazy. Okay.
So it's funny how they win by 16 points. 16 years ago, the girls won. That was the time when we was having the Katrina, and we had George Bush as a president, so you know how that was going on.
Right.
But, yeah, that's all I want to add. But once again, man, trying to find you like a needle in the haystack. I'm going to keep searching every day, trying to locate you. I know you had a live stream on Twitch today. Yeah, man, it's hard to get those notifications, man. I don't know if they're trying to block you or what.
Yeah, it is hard to get the notification. It's just so much censorship. I appreciate the people like you who try to keep up with everything, because a lot of people just quit along the way. It's just too difficult to follow where I'm at after I get deleted so often. So the good news is this Gematria Effect Sports channel stayed up for a while now, so I'm trying to keep it that way.
All right, man. Well, hey, I'm gonna keep searching for you, man. Keep up the good work.
Will do. You have a good night. Take care.
You too.
Oh, come on. I went to 804. Here, I'm going to call you back, 804. I picked you up. For some reason, it hung up as I picked you up. See if they pick up when I call them back. Hey, it's Zach. I'm calling you back. 804, you just called into the show. I just wanted to call you back because I didn't quite pick up quick enough.
Hey, how's it going? It's Sean from Richmond.
Hey, what's up, Sean?
First thing I want to say, man, is that, like, Zach, I love your work. The thing is that I was watching you on the night when you had said that Nicki Minaj's father had died, and it was a whole ritual, and you talked about the number 38.
Right.
And then the next night, Vincent Jackson died, and his number was 83.
Right.
That's proof that some of the stuff you're talking about is really true. Now, my question is that how do you tell if this stuff is from ritual, it's numbers, or is it really just natural? It's just how it goes.
Well, it's a good question, and I even asked the question to some extent. Like, for example, Sweet Lady thinks somehow just all of this is organic and it's the way the Matrix works. But again, I'll always say to her, and what I'll always talk to her, I'll say, so you're saying that you think 9/11 was just organic and natural, just this huge national emergency that didn't really add up on 9/11, but then in the same way the date totally added up? And she'll say, well, maybe not everything. And I say, see, not everything. And it's like, here's something that I know for sure was organic. A gentleman drives up in his old classic 54 car while I'm pounding pavement on the corner and tells me it's all about love. And then I ask him at the end, I say, hey, by the way, what year's your car, man? And he says it's a 54. Well, right away, I'm just inside. I didn't explain this to him because I didn't want to explain Gematria to him at the time, but I'm like, wow. Because the word love equals 54 forwards and backwards. And this man's telling me it's all about love, and he's driving his old classic 54. That's organic. But what we're showing today with, Kobe's helicopter crash synced up with the Emperor, and the Master synced up with the Emperor, to me, this feels like manipulation, like the chessboard's been set by the New World Order. And I could be wrong about that, but that's how it looks to me. I mean, I don't feel like this is organic.
There's a lot of truth to that, too. There's a lot of truth to that, too, Zach. I mean, the thing is, okay, yeah, you don't know me, I don't know you, but I've listened to you for a while. And the thing is, it's very true. There's a lot of connections. You think about how Kobe was born in Italy. Italy was a very locked-down country in the beginning of the coronavirus.
Right.
This whole thing, it's a very, there's some connection to it. And then you start thinking about, the numbers that play into it. And then you start thinking about Italy. Italy is a country that founded the whole Holy Roman Empire and the Vatican's based out of Rome, and all roads lead to Rome. That's very, very good stuff to think about. And now the thing about that is that basically like you said, they've made our alphabet, they've made our months, our calendar system is Gregorian based off Pope Gregory. There's nothing to dispute with that. So how come is it that your channel has been deleted so many times on YouTube? I mean, if what you're speaking is factually true, which I think it is, why has it been deleted?
Are you asking me to answer that question? I mean, it's censorship. They don't want certain information out there. It's just like I pointed out to people years ago. When my channels were merged and I just did sports and news on the same one, the same thing always happened when I exposed a big sports championship. And I'd say it just makes sense why this is happening. If you look at YouTube's advertising all day, they're advertising the NBA Finals. We're here saying what the outcome's going to be, and we're looking dead correct again. They don't want this out there. And every time I do a sports video, I'd lose a bunch of subscribers. The channel wouldn't grow for a while. People would start reporting more, less notifications. I mean, there's just always been kinds of censorship. There's certain information they don't want on their platform, and then eventually they just got to the point where they started deleting everything under bogus accusations. Just like they could call this video hate speech. I mean, videos like this get taken down for hate speech all the time on my channel. It's like, where's the hate speech? They don't ever respond and say, oh, well, the hate speech was right here, and here's what you said. They say, sorry, we found hate speech, and we don't need to explain why. Your channel's gone. It's like, come on, man.
And then what do you think about the whole coincidence that you live in Yakima, you live in Washington, and that's where the whole That's right in Bill Gates' backyard. That's where this whole coronavirus broke
You're
out.
just a troll trying to eat up time, aren't you? That's actually what's going on. What are the odds
No,
that I
I'm
live in
not.
Washington State? Well, I guess about 1 in 50, since there's about 50 states you could be born in, theoretically. So.
Right. But think about the whole coincidence that that's where the whole coronavirus outbreak started, was in Washington.
Okay. I'm going to
They
move
came
on,
from
man.
China.
Okay. I realize now at that point he's just a troll just taking up time. What's up, 818?
Hey, what's going on, my man?
What's up?
Zach, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Hey, man, I just wanted to give you a good, man. My name's Mike, man. I'm in LA. I'm from Jersey originally. I just wanted to call, man. I recently came across you in Gematria, and man, it's a life changing thing. All the work you put in is phenomenal, my man. It really is, absolutely. I got your book. I just got the Sacred Magic of the Claw. Also just came in today. I'm gonna start reading that one. And yeah, man, just what you're doing, everything you're doing is great. It's I've always, all three of my eyes always been open, man. I always knew something was up. But now that coming across you, it's just great, man. You put in a lot of work. You put out facts. You know what I mean? You back everything up with what you say.
Indeed, I appreciate that. I appreciate that you take notice and have taken the time to listen. And you're right. I mean, if anybody applied themselves, they would realize that there's a lot of truth in this, a lot of facts, and it is life-changing if you pay attention and apply it.
100%, absolutely. A lot of people are blind to what's going on, and they don't see what's, the curtains aren't peeled back, you know what I mean? And they just believe the bullshit that's fed to them, but if you actually take the time and, peel back the curtains and put in the work, and if you believe, you know what I mean? If you just don't believe everything that you're told and actually know there's a bigger picture behind what's going on. And it's just been great, man. I've been spreading the word to everybody who I know who because, not everyone can accept this. Some people look at you like you're crazy. You know what I mean? Because they're just not there, and that's okay. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just it is what it is. But what you've been doing is great, and it's an interesting story. Real quick, a buddy of mine is he had a friend who he's real good at decoding sports, right? He's always sending these pictures, like his texts of all the stuff he did. I'm like, man, what's all these numbers, all the work he put in? And then I came across you, and I linked it, and I found out that he learned from you. He came across you, learned Gematria, and it just all made sense. And he actually decodes stocks and stuff too. I don't know if you do that too, or you know about that.
Well, it definitely fits in. We helped a bunch of them earn a lot of money with the Moderna stock early in the pandemic because we saw the Moderna was going to blow up. It was coded early, and a lot of people made a bundle off that. So, and yeah, I mean, that's why people don't understand. I spent all my time decoding the news and putting out research, which isn't anything I need to do. None of this work helps really me. I'm just trying to wake people up. If I just wanted to take this knowledge and hoard it myself and look at the stock market all day and make investments and make money, that is what I could be doing. But that's not what I want to do. I'm trying to wake people up to stop tyranny.
Yeah, and that's why I've been watching. When I came across, I check all your stuff out. I've been following you, and I just had to give you a call and just let you know how appreciative I am of you, man. Like, the work you put in, it's much appreciated, dude. Just so you know, the hard work you put in, I appreciate it, and I know there's other people out there that appreciate it. And yeah, people need to know. People need to be awake and know what's going on. You know what I mean?
100%.
It's really good. And yeah, you're not greedy. You're not doing it for your own gain. You're trying to help other people, and that's what it's about. With the energy you put out, what you put out is what you get. Karma's real.
That's correct. And that's why we have a great community here, too. So I appreciate it, and I hope you have a good rest of your night. Thank you so much.
Hey, one more question real quick. Hey, I want to get a physical copy of your first book, but I can't find it anywhere.
There's only one way to... Well, there's actually two ways to do it. You need the ebook, and then you send the ebook file to lulu.com, and they will print it as a book. And I think they charge about $30, which is pretty good because it's 800 pages. If you take it to your local bindery and have them turn it into like a big spiral notebook, it'll probably cost you twice that because it's a lot of pages. But nobody will publish the book because it has news headlines in it.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, thank you, man. And like I said, I just wanted to let other people, pick up some more calls. But I just wanted to call and say thank you, Zach. Appreciate the hard work, and you're the man, dude.
All right, appreciate it. Much. Yeah, have a good night. Take care. Hold on, I got to call Atlanta back. I'm calling Atlanta right now because they're just so central to what's going on. The shootings in Atlanta, synced up with the Masters in Georgia. Of course, Atlanta's in Georgia.
Your call has been forwarded.
Well, they didn't pick up. Sorry, I was trying to call you back, Atlanta. But yeah, we just created another post. A lot of this information we'd already covered, but what Ben just brought to the table with the emperor and everything, it just takes it to a whole nother level. So I mean, we started with a really good piece of evidence to start, and Ben called in and just killed it. What's up, 469?
What's up, man? I just wanted to let you know, man. I'm 17 years old right now, and I've been watching your videos since I was 15. And I just wanted to let you know, man. You know, when I was 15, it was harder for me to understand Gematria. But as I kept on, learning more about it and actually starting to learn about the ciphers and stuff, man, I understand everything, basically. Not everything, but I understand way more than I did when I was 15 now. And I wanted to let you know in Texas.
Well, I really appreciate it. I was going to say, the thing you did is you stuck with it and you kept learning more. I mean, that's the way anything is. The more you stick with it, the more you learn. So I really appreciate that. And you said you're 17 now?
Yeah, I'm 17.
Very cool. It's good to be young. It's good to be young. Enjoy it because it goes by fast.
Yeah. And I just wanted to let you know in Texas, when you walk in the gym, it's like you're back in 2019 or something like that. I just wanted to know, what are your thoughts on the mayor ending mandates? Because I didn't really understand it when he first did it, and I don't think I got to see your. If you did a video on it, I don't think I got to see it. So could you just tell me about it really quick?
Did you say the mayor ending mandates?
Yeah. Greg, not the mayor. That's my bad.
Oh, Texas Governor Greg Abbott.
Yeah.
I did cover it. I did cover it. I need to go back because I haven't covered it since the day he made the announcement. But there definitely was a ritual to it. I got to go back and find that post. So here, hold on, stay on real quick. Let me see how fast I can pull up the post. Let me see. That was a few weeks back now, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And also, he banned COVID-19 passports in Texas as well.
Okay, him and Florida both did the same thing, which is going to create the national debate on if it needs to be a federal thing. That's the thing about them banning, is then it creates the reason for a federal argument on federal government having more power over states' rights. So the news came on the 61st day of the year, March 2nd, and restrictions is 61. He said he was lifting all restrictions. And his name, Greg Abbott's got that 56 Gematria like coronavirus. And 201, I'm sure he knows the other big number with coronavirus. The Florida governor banned the passports on his 201st day of his age. But yeah, the main thing, I didn't actually see a lot with it when he did it on March 2nd. I saw the 3-2 thing just because America's 32 and the 32 sunrise on the Jesuit logo. But it was the 61st day of the year and he said he was lifting all restrictions and the word restrictions was 61. So I was like, okay, that's probably why he's making an announcement today about restrictions. But I'll go back and I'll do more research on that. So
okay,
appreciate you bringing it up.
Yeah, I just hope Texas doesn't get locked down again. That would be horrible because everybody's enjoying here.
Yeah, I hope not too. But I mean, I'm telling you, if people don't stand up against what's going on, it's just going to get worse and worse over the long run. But hey, appreciate you, all you young people getting informed. It's awesome. I'm gonna let 404 get in now, man. But you have a great day. Thank you.
All right, you too.
Take care. 404 Atlanta.
What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up?
Man, big fan supporter. I've been supporting for a few years now. I was just calling. I had a question. Do you feel they rigged the golf? How they rigged basketball? I know you said they put magnets in basketball.
I know they're using some kind of technology to make sure that ball stays in or stays out or goes in, depending on the situation. But again, before the season began, what we said on Patreon, I said I expect a repeat of the 56th NBA season. And I'll just tell you guys what that is right now because it looks pretty obvious at this point. I'll be surprised if it doesn't happen because now the one team's become an all-star team. But we had this before the season began. The finals begin on a 56-date numerology, and LeBron's trying to get to 5 and 6, and that's been a huge number this year. The man who just won the golf tournament was born on the 56th day of the year. But The 56th NBA season was Lakers over Nets, and the Nets have acquired a lot of people during the regular season, so the odds on that matchup's not nearly what it was before the season began when we liked it, but it looks pretty good at this point, so we'll see.
Right, bro. I feel. I mean, you know, of course, I tell people about the knowledge, and you know, on that few will catch on to it. But I was telling people, like, I was like, man, I heard something about the 56th season, and they was like, what happened that year? I was like, the Nets and the Lakers played. And they're like, okay. I'm like, yo, what's going on right now? And they was just like, man, that don't mean nothing. And I was like, you know, I was just telling them like how you'd be like Baylor won with 86 points, and how baseball is like 54 and all that stuff. I'd be telling like simple stuff so they can like get like an idea of it. And man, they'll just cut it down. So I guess, you know how you say people want to believe what they believe. But man, they'll cut it down so fast, bro.
Well, they're just missing out. Again, they're missing out. They're not counting their money on Matsuyama today like a lot of people in this community are. So, I mean, that's just their fault. That's their fault.
And then I'm telling them, like, yo, and then, you know, by me being here, you know, we kind of get I ain't gonna say we get the news first from, like, everybody. But, like, you know, you're kind of hear, like, on, like, the local station or whatever. And I'm just telling them, like, okay, we got all this stuff about Asian people going on right now. And now an Asian person just wins the tournament. I'm like, what are the odds of that?
Exactly. But that's why I'm always saying, what are the odds of that? But it's just it's so obvious when you pay attention. That's why when we started our discussion about the Masters, the first thing we talked about on Patreon is, come on, man, Asian racism in Georgia. Now the Masters is there, and you got these top Asian golfers with some decent odds. I mean, that's probably where it's at, and sure enough, it is. So.
And man, bro, and you know, I never wore the mask thing. I mean, I you know, like, if I gotta go into the store, of course, you know, they gonna say put your mask on or whatever. But like, man, it's like in my apartment complex. It's a diverse complex, I'd say, but it's like everybody's like either like, if you don't, if they see you without a mask, they just like terrified, bro. Like, I'm about to hit them or something. Like, calm down. Like, it ain't even that serious. I walk past my neighbor every day. He always has his mask on. He always like, hey, and I just look at him like, what's up? And like, he'll look at me like, you know, like something wrong, and I'm just looking at him like, something wrong with you, like. This shit got, I mean, I don't know, we on that show tonight, but it's like, man, this still got people just like, clusterfuck, bro. Like, people don't know what they want to do with themselves right now. Like, they want to tell you be safe, and then they want to tell you go outside and get your exercise. Like, if you tell me go out, you tell me stay from outside, but then you want me to go outside. It's like, this shit everywhere, bro. And I feel like, you know, it's like,
I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just going to say, it was about a year ago at this time. I'm going to see what day I did this post, because we did a live stream when I was talking about this. April 17th last year. This is April 17th, 2020, this post. Somebody said, Zach, go watch the No Church in the Wild music video. And they said, how long do you think until America looks like that? Because we all know this is where they're taking us. Have you seen that music video? The Jay-Z, Kanye West, No Church in the Wild?
Yeah.
Because it's like everybody's rebelling, but they'll got like mask over their face. Yeah, and it's just like, man, this is where they're taking us right here.
It's crazy you say that, bro. I'm talking about, okay, so I work downtown, right? And, like, you know how they were showing on CNN, like, how people were standing on the CNN sign and all that stuff? And, like, spray paint and all that crazy stuff going on?
Right.
My job is, like, literally right around the corner from that, right? Probably, like, 5 minutes. So I got, like, my family and stuff calling me, telling me, hey, are you okay? What's going on? And I'm like, what's wrong? They're like, it's a fucking riot going on right now. What do you mean? I'm like, for real? So I work overnight. Anyway, so I work overnight. So I get off in the morning. I'm driving home, and I'm just looking around, and the shit looked like a stage, bro. It looked like they set the shit up so people can be like, okay, y'all can mess up this area of the city, but you can't go over here.
Right.
Type stuff.
Right.
And I'm just like, this shit don't even make sense, because as I was going to work, I seen them, like, by the Georgia Dome. Well, not the Georgia Dome. Anyway, I seen them over there. Like, they was in their crowds and all that. But I'm like, what they doing over there? And then once I get to work, people start calling my phone and telling me we got riots and police fighting people and all kind of crazy shit. I'm like, well, I'm at work right now. I don't know what the hell going on out there. We looking normal over here on my end. And it's just like, stuff like that, and then with LeBron, and I don't know, Zach, man, you the truth, bro. I give you that dog. Like, without you, bro, I ain't gonna say, I ain't gonna, I ain't gonna, but I'm gonna say this. You close enough to God. Because, man, without you, bro, I would still be asleep out here. Because this shit be right in our face, bro. Right in our face, dog. I tell people every day. Because they always know, my girl, she be mad at me. She's like, you need to just believe in something. And you need to stop listening to that nigga about each other's numbers all day. I'm like, man, you these fucking numbers in our face all day. This shit, then you turn up, bro, I don't even watch the news. I turn the TV on, or I talk to my grandma. I would think she's fucking getting, like, tortured over there. Because I'm like, she's always in a bad mood. And every time I go over there, she got the fucking news on. And there's always some fucking kid getting kidnapped. Or some man just broke into this fucking store. And I'm like, why are you even watching this? Because it's like, it's just always some fucking shit going on.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm like, even when I was a kid, bro, I seen that. I was like, I don't like the news because it seems like there's always some shit going on in the world. There's nothing never positive. Or if it is something positive, it's like a fucking 80-some-year-old person that beat cancer or something. Man, I ain't gonna say nobody care about it. People like, oh, okay. And then they go back to, well, be careful, Mark, because the fucking tornado coming. It's like, oh, okay. It's like all over the place. And just for your organic side too, bro, my birthday 12/2, so I kind of feel you on that Pearl Harbor shit because I've been studying Pearl Harbor since I was a kid, and I was kind of.
Wait a minute, like, your birthday's December 7th?
Oh God, bro.
Well, I gotta cross that off my list. That's my sister's birthday too, man. My birthday's 7/21. Hers like yours is 1/27, so they're like reflections of each other. She's the exact opposite as me, but you get it. So I guess you can possibly have a Pearl Harbor birthday and still get it. So I was thinking maybe that was the reason she just couldn't get it, but you prove otherwise.
Hell yeah, bro. Cause I used to like when people like, oh, you got a Pearl, like military people, oh, you got a Pearl Harbor birthday. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I started studying. I was like, oh, okay. And then like when I started reading about it and like just really like I got deep into it. It was my birthday, of course. And I was just like, so America, we got bombed and then we bombed. It's like who bombed who? It's like a story. It's like a mess. Like every fucking story in history is a mess. It like doesn't make sense. We going against, it's like, they just, it's a race war, of course, but that's obvious. It's surface level shit.
Just remember,
you white,
just remember, they called 9/11 the new Pearl Harbor, and buildings 1, 2, and 7 fell in New York, like the date December 7th. And then Pentagon got hit that day, and Pentagon construction began September 11th, 1941, which was just before Pearl Harbor. And then they called 9/11 the new Pearl Harbor. It's all connected, man. We've been living out history by the numbers.
Oh, yeah, for sure, bro. That's fact. Because if I see Tom, not against Tom Brady, you know what I'm saying? Anybody can throw a ball in the spot. I get that. But, bro, in the type of sport that you have to be fast and you have to have technique, how do a man that can't even run a 40, a 6-second 40 beat people like that?
It would not happen if
I'm like, bro.
Exactly.
I'm like, bro, I'm at work. It's football heads or whatever. I'm like, bro, we been home. My job, we work through pandemic, recessions, all that shit. We don't stop. I work for the railroads, so we don't stop. Man, I'm telling you, so I'm like, bro, they've been telling us all year, stay home, stay in the house, stay home. So my partner was like, yo, man, how they gonna have a Super Bowl and travel and all that shit? The airport down here didn't close. That motherfucker jumping every day, bro. I was like, think about it, bro. I was like, my boy, I just say my boy, I don't never say it, man. I said, my boy said, shit, they've been telling us to stay home all year. Why not be on the Super Bowl at home? And then everybody was like, what? I was like, yeah. And I was like, think about it. Tom Brady been this patriot all his life, and now he's a fucking pirate. Right. I was like, if you study your history, Patriots, when they left their country, they went on the, ocean and turned to pirates. I was like, bro, this shit's so simple. I was like, it's a headache sometimes for me, bro, because motherfuckers be looking at me like, what are you talking about? I be like, bro, it's right in your face. It's literally right in your face. they saying it in your face. I'm watching all these fucking movies and they keep yelling out 33, 33 this,
Isn't it crazy?
33 that.
I know, man.
Like,
That's why the people who criticize us, it's like, do you guys have eyes or ears, man? Because you just turn on TV, they're just regurgitating the same numbers like you need to know about it.
Exactly, bro. Like, you just gotta hear it. Like, it just got, man, that Chadwick Boseman shit, my grandma still talks about that. Cause she's like, oh, I love the Black Panther. I be like, but how's that? You know, I tell her about the 42 shit. She's like, he ain't died at 42. He died at 43. And I'm like, I got a fucking screenshot. I don't talk to her like that. I got a screenshot in my phone saying he died at 42. Like, it's in my phone, bro. The pictures, like, I got the 42 and the 43. I'm like, it's right there. She's like, but they just made a mistake. I'm like, well, that's a big ass mistake because how you get somebody's age wrong, you know?
Right, exactly.
But, you know, they manipulate the numbers all day. And I don't know, Zach. I mean, bro, like I said, I support your work. And I listen to other people on YouTube that, you know, want to voice their opinion about it. But, you know, everybody feel they know something. But I just, you know, I look at you and I look at them and I'm just like, man, if they keep deleting, bro, he gotta be saying some shit that just ain't supposed to be said because what they deleting this man for? I'm talking about I be watching your live stream sometime, that motherfucker just cut off. I'm like, what the hell? I'm talking about go back to it, it'd be like just buffering, your face just froze on the screen. I'm like, yep, they fucking with him tonight. And it's like when they cut Rambo off, it's like they make it so obvious now. You say one thing like, oh, pharmaceutical this, pharmaceutical that, or, you know, just like pushing that trans, nothing against, you know, any gender or whatever you are. It's just they push that tranny stuff. And I think my girl be like, well, what they pushing that for? I be like, well, they trying to make the world a little more feminine. Because, you know, they feel like it's too many people out here, so they trying to depopulate us. So,
right.
Of course, they're going to try to, you know, slow down the sex and all that stuff. So, you know, I was watching Designated Survivor. And, you know, the first two seasons was kind of dope. And then the third season, it was just pharmaceuticals and viruses and fucking trannies and all kind of stuff, bro. I'm just like, damn, this is what's going on right now. I was like, well, that's predictive programming, I guess. And I don't know, Zach, man. Like I said, bro, you like, I ain't gonna say, like, you like the highlight for me, dog, because I don't really be watching nothing on YouTube. I don't even watch TV like that no more, bro. I just turn on YouTube. I might watch some old you had, you know, just to catch back on or something just because I missed something. Or like I don't really gamble like that, but it'd be cool to like see you like get stuff right sometimes, stuff like that. That should be cool. And it's just like, man, I don't know, like, dog, this world is gone, bro. Like, I know you're trying to save it, but this world is definitely gone, dog.
It does look that way. It does look that way. Yesterday, I talked to a gentleman. I talked to a gentleman on the street yesterday, and he said that's why I'm so strong right now. He said I'm just getting ready for the Fallout world. He said I'm gonna have to fight people. I got my mind ready. I see what time it is. People aren't ready. He's just like I've got my body all the way prepared. I was like, well, you're doing the exact right thing, man. So.
Oh yeah, mentally, bro. Like if you're not mentally strong right now, which they definitely showing that. It's like, okay, people look at me crazy. I used to be a big sports head, so I don't watch sports no more because, you know, I know it's bullshit. Like, even though they have like the little side shows and like the little podcasts and all that, like they play their role. You know, I give them that. I don't know what kind of entity run this world, but they got them in line because they play their roles very well. Because when that Michael Jordan thing that came up, whatever that was, he had that documentary, and you know, they show like the behind the scenes. I'm just like, damn, they act. It's like soon they leave their house, they gotta turn it on. Like, okay, you this person, you gotta be there all day until you get back in your house, or something like that.
Right.
Like it's just crazy, bro. But anyway, I don't want to take too much time, bro. I just want to say I support you, bro, and just keep doing what you're doing, dog. There's people out here that believe in you, so I don't even care what them trolls be talking about.
Well, I appreciate you, and I'm glad you're getting the word out, and I like the way you put a lot of things. I can tell you phrase things just right for people to understand it, so thanks for doing that, and you have a good night, friend.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate it, Zach.
Yeah, take care, man. See you. 585, you're on.
Hey, what's up, Zach? It's Juan from Rochester.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
I'm all right. Is it okay to talk about something other than the Masters or the sport?
Sure, go for it. What's going on?
All right. I just wanted to try to encourage people to do what you're doing, and that is, since the internet is so highly censored, try to hit the streets. You know, when you go shopping, anywhere you go, you know, even like when you're in the street, do you think it's possible that you can make some flyers that people that are interested, you can hand out some flyers to them?
I have some. I have a gentleman sent me a bunch of nice ones with a QR code, but there's so little foot traffic. So I got to go post up in Seattle with those flyers. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna bring them next week to the Gonzaga campus too. I'm gonna go to the Gonzaga campus next week. But yeah, are you saying you've been watching the videos I've been doing on the corner and going into stores? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, not the ones on Twitch, but when you was doing them on the YouTube, I was watching them and I was thinking like it would probably be a good idea. Like even the cars that stop, if you could go up to them like, hey, you interested? And you just got like a short message on there and you have your information and stuff like that they can later go log on to instead of just beeping and agreeing with what your sign is saying.
I got a megaphone and everything. I don't know if you're watching what I'm doing on Twitch now, but I got a pretty good system. I got the megaphone and everything, so.
Yeah, no, I understand. So something that I do when I go, like I have actually I sent you to your PO box some flyers that I put on bus stops, like bus shelters and stuff, where people could sit inside of a bus shelter and I tape some up there and I put some of your codes. I put statements from the CDC and from Bill Gates and stuff, just stuff that is most people don't know, but you could use their evidence against them, you know, about face masks, about Event 201, and then I put some that's about Gematria and stuff.
Okay.
And so, another thing, my sister just passed away a couple weeks ago on 3/11, and she was in the hospital, and they only allowed one visitor. Only 2 people was allowed to be on the visiting sheet. You can't change the visitors, and only 4 hours per day. And she was dying from cancer.
Okay.
And a liver infection. And so she was in the hospital for about a week and a half. And then my other sister texted me and told me that the doctor said she might not make it. All of a sudden, she might not make it. We're thinking that she might be okay. Then I got a text, and she said the hospital said she might not make it past the night. So I was at work, and I went down to the hospital, and I know the policy. I know I'm not allowed in there. I'm not one of the 2 visitors that's already going to go in for the 4 hours a day. So I went to the hospital. I got dropped off because I knew that I was going to go to jail that day. Because to me, that's evil. That someone in your family's dying, they're sick, and they only allow 4 hours a day. And so I went there, and they had like 15 police officers. And I went to the information desk, and I let them know, I don't care about your culture. And for something that, if it's real, for a virus that, if it's real, has killed less than the common cold, according to the CDC, and I got a printout from that, and you're not going to allow family members to be comforted 24 hours a day the way they should be, the way they deserve.
Hey, you're right, man. It's evil. I'm very sorry this happened to you, and it's happening to a lot of people. And this is just one of the many reasons that what's going on right now is so wrong. And it's like, what is really going on? How do we know our loved ones are even safe in these hospitals making these crazy, nonsensical rules right now? So.
Yeah, and I mean, the third cause of death in the United States is the healthcare system, whether it's by mistake or, stuff like that. But regardless, it's the third cause of death is the healthcare system. And so I flipped out in the hospital, and I'm letting him know, and somehow they let me get a half an hour with her that day. She passed away the next day after that, but they let me get a half hour. They said if you do good and you go in and you leave on time, and you could come back and stuff like that. That was still wrong, but I still went along with it because I just wanted to see her so bad. And if people do what I do, and that is they don't care about going to jail, and they don't care about getting tackled by the police. I've been locked up before. I've gone through a tough life. I don't care about none of that. And when you're gonna violate, people cannot allow their families and themselves to be violated, no matter if it's by the police or whoever. You have to be willing to put hands on them. And I've been reached out to law enforcement by the police department, by the FBI because of this. And people got to be not afraid. We're like, what's the point? We're all gonna die one day anyway. What's the point of being afraid? Afraid of what? Jail? Afraid of what? Being tortured? Even those who are on here and they still believe in Christianity, I don't. But people that believe in Christianity and religion, don't their religions teach them? Jesus said, happy are those who are persecuted. Happy are those who are killed for my name's sake. What are people afraid of? Stand up now before it's too late. Because that's what I did. And at least I was able to see her the day before she passed away. And so I like to encourage, like when I go out to Walmart, I go out to different places when I'm shopping, and I wear a Tyvek suit, and I wear a sheet mask, and I wear a respirator, right? I sent you pictures of it. I don't know if you got it or not, but I switched beyond, but the one with the sheet mask, when I wear the respirator mask, people think that I'm just trying to be overprotective of myself. So I switched to a sheet mask, and then that's what people constantly, they're asking me, like, what are you wearing that for? So then I let them know, like, because I'm trying to protect myself from the sheep virus, because that's more dangerous to me than anything else. And also, pigs, I'm a vegan because of me watching, like, the cruelty and animals on the farms and stuff, right? So even pigs, when they're being led to the slaughter, they squeal and they push back. They try to get out of it, you know? So I tell them that even the pigs, they'll squeal, but the sheep, they don't. They just go along all happy. You know what I'm saying? So we have to not be like the sheep. We got to be more like the pigs. And at least we got to fight back as much as possible. Don't be like the sheep. And I have a flyer that I hand out, and it has some information about, some scientific facts on the CDC's website and stuff that you can use against them. And then I have your information from, about Gematria and your website and stuff like that. Just so that way, just as a sample for them to be like, hey, just to look into it. And if they're interested, then they can look into those things and further see more. Because when I first start reaching out to people, they just look at me like I'm crazy. So I said, okay, all the statements from the CDC and all of that, and like even the decodes that you've made on the Event 201 and coronavirus with the 56, I put those on a flyer and stuff like that. So that way, they can just see it for themselves. And if they're truly more interested, and hopefully they go to your YouTube, and hopefully they look at it more. Because when I first just start saying it, people look at me like I'm crazy. But then when I put it on paper, and then I start handing out to people and giving them the actual links to the CDC website and stuff like that, then people started even more having way more interest, because I'm providing them a link to a website like the CDC that they're trusting in. And I'm saying, hey, did you look at what the CDC says? So I just want to encourage people to to do more in that area. You know, it's you know, not don't have stage fright, don't have any type of fright. You know, I'm being watched by law enforcement. I don't care about none of that. I got 3 kids. You know, like you know, even my daughter, she has you know, I took since coronavirus, all of this happened. They told my 6-year-old son he'll die from coronavirus if he doesn't wear his mask. So I called the school and I started cursing them out. I sent them emails. I sent them certified mail. And then I took them out and completely out the school system. And now I'm doing homeschooling myself with them. And I've been wanting to do that. But now it even more made it more perfect time to do it because it's a way of telling the government, fuck you, I'm going to do this myself. And you're going to lie to my kid? You're going to lie to my kid about a mask and they're going to catch coronavirus and they're going to die? When that's not exactly what the statistics say. That's not what the science says. You're going to lie to my kid? You know, to me, you deserve to die. Somebody deserves to go in that one of those buildings and shoot them up. That's what I truly believe. But I play chess, not checkers, so I don't encourage nobody to do that specifically, and I'm not going to do that. I know law enforcement's watching me, so whatever if what I said is illegal, I don't care. I'm going to protect my family. I'm going to do what I can the best way that I can do. And I just want to encourage other people that they need to not just know this good information, especially what you're teaching, but they need to put more action involved because, you know, things are getting more and more crucial. The vaccines are becoming more and more mandated for people that are in the front lines, for people who want to travel, for all of this stuff. You know, it's not going to be too long. You know, like in Israel, you can't go shop in lots of places. You can't go shopping without it. So, you know, people need to start waking up real soon, and they need to be really ready to become violent about it too, and become defensive about it too. You know, because it's really pissing me off. You know, like when I took my kids out of the school and I put them in homeschooling. You know, on my daughter, on her homeschool. You have to do an IHIP, which is where you write down what information you're going to teach to your kid, what books you're going to use for your kids in each subject. And so it's not required, but one of the subjects I put as a elective is Gematria, and I use your name and your YouTube channel and your website to show that I'm teaching them Gematria, and I put on there that, you know, how secret societies are scripting our world events. You know, just as a way that it's not something that's mandatory for them to learn, but just for the school district, it's another way of me sticking up my middle finger to them, letting them know, like, I'm going to teach them real knowledge. You know, so for me, I'm really living this, and I just wish that other people, you know, I mean, you got, you know, like what, I don't know total, but last I heard, like, you know, like around like 60,000, you know, subscribers on your main channel or something like that. So I mean, that's I wish it was way more, but I mean, 60,000. If 60,000 people was pushing back way more, that would be awesome. You know, 60,000 more people sending certified mail to the mayor, to the governor, to every single school in their school system, like I have been doing. We need to push. We need to do more pushing back. And
if that happened, then it's like Randy says: if nobody follows the rules, then there's no rulers, and the people who rule over us, who expect us to follow them rules, they don't have good intentions for us. That's why people do need to fight back and do exactly what you're doing. You're inspiring a lot of people in the chat, by the way. GematriaEffectNews just got deleted with 80-some thousand subscribers, and I mean, it's been deleted 21 times now, so I mean, had it never been deleted, we'd be a lot further ahead, but again, they do that because we're a threat, because the people who push back are a threat, and if more people push back, then we'd be getting somewhere.
Yeah, you're right, you know, and I just wanted to, like, speak on things that I'm doing, so that way that whoever's listening right now, or who listens to the video in the future, then they can try to, you know, have more encouragement to do more before it's too late. Because truthfully, I think it's too late. But I don't care. If you know, I used to be in the gang, and I don't care about being a minority. You know, so if you're gonna lose, then you go out with a bang. You go out with fighting. You don't curl up into a ball.
Right, you
That's
go out
like
with style. You don't go out like a punk. Exactly. Exactly.
So I feel like we already lost. So even more, I'm gonna be more loud. I'm gonna be more, you know, fighting back than if not, because, you know, it's just crazy how, you know, to all the people that's listening to the video now or in the future, just try to come up with more ideas, because maybe other people got better ideas than me. You know, I hand out flyers, I go shopping and do things like that, but maybe other people got better ideas. Whatever the ideas they got, maybe they could pass it on, and they can do their own little different thing. But, you know, we can't just be amazed by your work and just hold on to it. We have to try to pass it on somehow, you know, because if not, you know, it's going to be too late. I think it's already too late. Hopefully not. Maybe, you know, we never know. But I just want to ask you one more thing. Did you ever get in the mail the Secret Teachings book?
I got it right here next to me, the big fancy one. Yeah, I did. Thank you very much.
Okay.
There was a video where I thanked you. There was a video where I thanked you on camera. I know you obviously didn't see that video, but I held up the book. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I was scared to send it, and I didn't pay like extra for like tracking or something like that. But I was just like, damn, I hope he gets it. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't just get lost somewhere.
No, it definitely made it here. I'm very grateful, and I know it came from you. I realized it was you after you started talking for a few minutes. I said, oh, I know who this is. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, I won't hold up your line too much. I just want to try to encourage people to push back and don't be afraid of jail. I got 3 kids and I'm being watched right now. Don't be afraid of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're religious. What you afraid of? Because I'm not religious, and I get mind boggled by the people that still have some belief in you know, religion, and whether Muslim or Christianity, they both teach to not be afraid of being tortured, not be afraid of being persecuted and even killed. Jesus says, happy are those who are killed. Like, so you should be happy, you know, regardless. I'm not religious, but I'm still happy to try to stick up for my family, that my sister that was in the hospital, and they're not allowing nobody to see her. Somebody had enough heart to let me see her that day. They didn't have to, but they did. But I told them, if you don't let me, then I'm willing to go to jail today, because you're going to arrest me for trespassing. And the first person who puts their hands on me, I'm putting my hands on you too. Because I don't know about you, but maybe you let your family member die alone in the hospital, but I'm not gonna allow it. And if I go to jail, then at least I tried, you know. So, you know, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I just want to try to encourage people.
Well, you're not taking up my time at all. I really appreciate your call. A lot of people appreciate your call, and I'm sorry all you've had to go through. And again, if everyone was pushing back like you, we wouldn't be in the place we are. So keep up the great work, friend. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, you know, and one quick thing about the organic side of Gematria, right?
Right.
My sister, she was 55 years old, and she died on 3/11, a numerology date of 55, right after the 55th Super Bowl. And so, you know, hey, there has to be some coincidences, or there, you know what I'm saying, but I'm not a coincidence theorist, but, you know, there's just, you know, something, you know, weird about all of that, or maybe the natural side of it, I guess. But now 55 is just stuck in my head as this number. But yeah, that's it. I don't really have much else to say. I'm just mad. If I didn't have, like, you know, when she had her service, I said in my service, if it wasn't for my 3 children who give me purpose and you know, meaning to keep on going in life, I would opt out of here right now. because I'm sick and tired of this life, and also another thing, when the next day after I seen her, the next day us, my family and the doctors, they said, they don't know when she's gonna pass. It could be any time. There's nothing else they can do. So we decided it's better that we can get some family members to visit her, and then there could be some family members could be with her when they let the machine down.
Right.
So they said eight people could go see her. I was one of the 8 people. When I got to the hospital, the lady in the hospital, she was there the day before when I went crazy on them. So she called right in front of me. She said, "Hi, yeah, Juan Diaz is here, but he's the one, he was acting really aggressive yesterday. I don't think he should go up again. We don't want any problems and anything." So then they refused me to be with her that same night that they was going to let her go. And if it wasn't for me having my 3 children, that I have to make smart choices, I have to play chess, not checkers, then that bitch right there, she'd have a closed casket so that way no family members could see her either.
I completely get it, man. I don't think it's wrong at all what you're saying, man. I say the same thing when I'm ranting out on the street when some people come by. I'm just like, man, that's why I wish I live in the Wild West. People like this need to learn their place. Exactly. That woman's not even thinking about how your family member's about to die and you want to be there. And she's like, you were making a big deal about... I mean, these people are sick, man. I hear you.
Yeah, and after I made a big deal, they still let me see her. So why she want to bring it up again for after the doctors already approved me to be one of the 8 people to go see her, and then she brings it up and then they denied me. And it's like, man, nothing's gonna happen. I'm not, I know I'm being watched, whatever, it doesn't matter, but I'm not gonna do nothing. But like, if I didn't have 3 kids that I really need to, that I really want to be with and really want to provide and have a future with, if it wasn't for them, she would definitely have a closed casket, because it ain't hard to just walk right there to the information desk at all. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
That's not a threat. It's not. It's just that. But to some people that might sound violent and crazy, but hey, that's just the truth. But I appreciate this. I appreciate your time and everything like that and all your hard work.
And here's what else I want to say, friend. You have been a very generous person. You've sent me cash in the mail. You sent me a really nice book. You sent me letters. I don't think I got your letter, though, with the sheep costume. I'd like to see that. If you sent me that in a letter, that didn't show up. But,
Oh, no, I sent you a picture when I had the picture of my kids with my daughter. I had the Tyvek suit, but I don't think I had the picture.
I'm going to go back through it then. I save everyone's mail. I haven't gotten rid of anything, so I'll go back and look at it. I must have missed that part. But, yeah, man, I was going to say, just don't send me any more donations. You got 3 kids and you're going through enough grief. You've already been if everybody was as generous as you, man, we'd have all the resources we need. So I really appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, too.
Stay strong, man. The world needs you. I heard everything else you said. I agree with I identify what you're saying, but the world needs you, so stay strong, man.
I'm trying.
Do it, man. Yeah, you're doing it, man. You're doing it. We appreciate you. Thank you tonight for your great call.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, you take care, friend.
I'll call in another time.
I look forward to it. You have a good night. All right, I'm turning off the phone, you guys, because I went overtime again. Sweet lady hates me, man. She doesn't really hate me, but I'm just so bad with time. I said I'd be done by no later than 9. It's 9:20. I'm 20 minutes past. But, yeah, over on the twitch.tv, we're pounding payment on the corner. Today I drove down from the corner. You got to go with me in the car. We drove over to the Costco. I showed people how to shop like a human being. Man, I had this guy come over and tell me to put a mask on, you guys, today, and his whole mask just had this big, nasty brown spot, and I had to put him in his place. I was like, what? Dude, you don't look cleanly to me, man. I don't want to do what you're doing. So he just ran right away, too. I think he got it right away. He might have been embarrassed, but he needed to be embarrassed, so. Yeah, you guys, we got to stand up for our rights, man. We do. We do. But anyway, congrats to the winners. Gematria does it again. And great work, everybody. Great calls tonight. Appreciate all of you. And we'll be back tomorrow for the latest. Oh, here, just a rundown real quick. All of my YouTube channels, you guys, you're on Gematria Effect Sports right now. Gematria Effect News, the only one that's left is Gematria Effect News 22. I'm putting out the majority of my content there now. Gematria Effect News 22. 22 because 21 channels have been deleted. And Zachary on the Corner. You guys want to subscribe to Zachary on the Corner. Because, you know, you get you get all sorts of gems, man. You get like this guy over here. Look at this triggered guy. This is what's wrong with the world right here. Hold on. I mean, just come on, man.
I'd love to know what you're so triggered about, sir. What's wrong?
Oh, I think you're dumb as fuck.
Why?
I think you're dumb as fuck.
Do you know about Event 201? Do you know about Event 201? You don't have a problem that the pharmaceutical companies simulated a coronavirus pandemic 1 month before the outbreak, and now they've rushed out a vaccine and cleared themselves of all liability for any wrongdoing from their vaccines? I think you got that for the wrong person, buddy.
Okay, so at least I enjoy the videos on Zachary on the Corner. I'm gonna put some more up there. I got to go through and trim because again, I'm doing these long live. I'm doing these long live streams on Twitch.tv. Of course, if you search Gematria, you'll find me. If you type in Gematria, that's me, Gematria Effect News. And I learned today that the videos, they expire. They don't stay up here forever. Like, if you go to some of the older ones, it says that they expire in a few days. So I got to try to go back. I think some already expired. But anyway, I'm doing it every day, you guys. I'm going out to the corner for at least 2 hours a day. Some days I'm going shopping. But I'm just reminding people what it looks like to stand up for your rights and try to wake up others. And we got to do it on more than just the computer. So, again, I live in this small little town, Yakima. I wish I lived in a bigger city right now for this reason. But I'm going to travel to Seattle and do it there too, in Portland. But right now we're just really getting the word out in Yakima. I'm going to see what happens if I go 100 days straight in this little tiny town. Does it finally create a big enough buzz to make something happen? So anyway, we'll leave it there, and we'll be back tomorrow. Gematria Effect Sports, Gematria Effect News 22, Zachary on the Corner. Voices of Humanity, that's another one of my channels. It's about to get deleted already. It didn't last long either. But Voices of Humanity, if you search that, it should come up. Voices, let me see what happens when you search that. Voices of Humanity, that's it, with Zachary K. Hubbard. It's suspended right now with a couple of strikes. And I got my Signs Matter channel, but I haven't put any videos on there yet. But it's this one with the 1.65, the black and the yellow. I'm going to start uploading the homeless people. We're going to get homeless people. We're going to get them food, money, have them hold a sign with a positive message, have a nice conversation with them, you know, try to make their day, have them make other people's day. So, again, we're just trying to mix it up a little bit, reach people in more ways. Been doing the Gematria real hard for a long time, and as amazing as it is, I mean, just most people, they just don't seem to care no matter what. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, if you guys did watch the video, please don't hesitate on hitting the like button. The more likes a video has, the more likely it might reach a stranger's feed. And somebody's in the chat, I see that. Bring balloons to the corner. That's an idea. Get more attention, some balloons on the corner. So, all right. In the 100 days, I'm going to have to switch it up. I might have a day where I got sliced up watermelons. Will people stop by for a watermelon slice to talk to me? I don't know. We'll try all sorts of things. Everybody likes watermelon, right? So maybe one day we'll rent a grill. We'll be grilling food out there. Tell people to stop by and eat and have a conversation. I don't know. We'll see where it leads to. The Costco video. So if you go to the Twitch, so twitch.tv, twitch.tv is the website. And then when you go to search, just search Gematria. You'll see the Gematria Effect News. Click that. Click the channel. And then the most recent video, what comes up at the very top is going to be the video, but it's at the end of this. You see how this video is like 2.5 hours long? Hold on. Where's it at? So if you want to see the whole experience, hold on. Okay, so about I'm walking to the Costco right here at 2 hours and 12 minutes in. From here until the end of the video is the Costco experience. I have to put 3 or 4 people in their place here telling me what to do, especially the one with the poopy looking mask. And he ran away the fastest. So anyway, I had to remind them about bacterial pneumonia and good hygiene and how I'm a healthy person and I don't like them discriminating against the healthy, assuming I'm some disease carrier. Sounds like it goes against my God-given rights. And like I also told him at Costco, I said, listen, when I signed up for the membership here, nowhere did it say I had to wear a mask in your store. So that's not part of our contractual agreement. So leave me alone. And, yeah, you can do the same thing. So we'll leave it there, you guys.